Hey, what's going on everybody? My name is Angel. This is my new YouTube channel, Angel 3.0. As you can tell by the title of this video, I actually lost 185 pounds in the last 11 months. So let's talk about it. So 185 pounds in the last 11 months. Yeah, basically diet, exercise, a lot of hard work. So to really tell this story, I guess we really should focus on the very beginning, and not even the beginning of this past 11 months or so, but really to get an understanding of basically me, the whole name of the channel, the Angel 3.0. I think it's pretty important to kind of start at the beginning. So I definitely have been someone who struggled with weight my entire life. So I'm talking when I came out of the womb, I think I was like 10 pounds or pretty darn close to it, if I recall. You know, obviously I was there, I don't really remember much, but based on what my mom has shared with me. So if I wasn't 10, I was probably like 9 and some change. So I was always a big baby, big kid growing up. You know, I was always playing football, you know, and really I guess part of that was just my size. You know, I was a big guy, and I guess that's what big guys do, is play football. But, you know, I remember as a child, you know, playing pee-wee football, you know, they had a weight limit. So, and it was, you know, age group. So I remember I started when I think I was 7 or 8, and it was 85 pounds was the weight limit. So for a 7 or 8 year old to weigh 85 pounds, you know, that's a pretty big number. So, and lucky me, I was one of the guys who struggled to get underweight every single game. I remember having to strip that. Well, even before I get into that point, I remember coaches would have me wearing trash bags, running laps like crazy, like an hour before the game, chewing gum, not allowed to swallow any saliva, had to spit it out, doing everything I could to hit the weight limit and be under 85 pounds. It got to the point where, you know, when weighing came, I literally, in front of everyone, cheerleaders, everything, 7 to 8 years old, having to strip down to my underwear just to make weight and just to try to be able to, you know, play football. So, you know, that sticks with you as a 7 to 8 year old. You know, it's pretty embarrassing, but, you know, that was life for me. I mean, I was a big kid, and you know, that's just what I had to deal with. So, you know, moving on from that point, you know, into middle school, same story. You know, I'm playing football, I'm a bigger kid, struggling with weight, just a chubby guy. You know, my brothers would call me Fatso or Fatty Bobo, a lot of crazy nicknames. It didn't really bother me too much, but, you know, it just is what it is. You just kind of learn to deal with it, and you know, it is what it is. You don't know any different. So, and then from there, into high school, same story, playing football. In 9th grade, I actually tore my ACL, tore my meniscus, sprained every freaking ligament in my knee, and that kind of put a damper on the whole football thing. I really never even played again after that. But, you know, the whole ACL thing was never really an excuse for me. It's definitely, I don't, to this day, feel like it has anything to do with my weight gain. My knee today is fine, no issues at all. But it was definitely an event, and, you know, something that, you know, took football away from me, and that, I guess, was a big deal. But it probably was junior, senior year time frame when I really started packing on the pounds. So probably freshman year or so, I was probably 220, something like that. And then football kind of went away, and then it turned into 300 pounds pretty quick. And really, it kind of led up to my first weight loss, which I guess I haven't mentioned yet. But yeah, so one of the really unique parts about my story is, although I lost 185 pounds in the last 11 months, it's actually not the first time or the only time I've lost a significant amount of weight. It's actually the second time. So when I was 18, I lost about 125 pounds, if not a little bit more actually. I remember I weighed myself, I weighed 325 pounds when I was 18. This was probably the end of December of 2004. And then something kind of happened, something was said to me that really struck a chord with me, and I decided to do something about it. So, you know, kind of explain the name as well. I know I'm jumping all over the place, but bear with me, first video, so remember that. But the first version of myself, the Angel 1.0, as you would say, was just me, right? Being born and just always being heavy and playing football, all that. Just a heavy guy, big guy, struggling with my weight from the get-go. So Angel 2.0 or 2.0, however you want to call it, was really the first time that I lost all the weight. So rewind back to 2004, Christmas. sitting around a table, having a conversation, and you know, I don't even remember what the conversation's about, to be honest, anymore. But something along the lines of something with the military, or something. But there's a comment that was made, you know, and again, I was 325 pounds at this time, and someone made a comment, and it started with "no offense," which you know, means you should take offense. In a nice way, but so no offense, but you know, that person was like angel size, and I remember hearing that and thinking two things really. Number one, I was like, wow, like that's messed up, and yeah, I did take offense to it. But number two was the realization that they didn't say anything untrue. It was all true, and it kind of, you know, sank in that like I'm 18 years old. I weigh 325 pounds, and someone makes a comment like that, and it's all true. Like, I had no one to blame but myself. So that was really around Christmas of 2004. It just so happened to be around Christmas, so the New Year, you know, it was right around the corner, and it had nothing to do with the whole New Year's resolution, but it just kind of turned into it because it was, you know, January 1st, a new opportunity. But realistically, it was based on that comment that was made, and that kind of flipped a switch for me, and it you know, I didn't want to go the rest of my life being this heavy guy, 300 plus pounds, you know, struggling. I mean, for those that, you know, have struggled with weight, I mean, it affects your whole entire life, not just physically, but mentally. Every little thing you do, like, it's just different. And hopefully I can go into that in a different video and talk about, you know, anxieties and all that kind of stuff, and, you know, what affected me. But nevertheless, basically New Year came and I just cold turkey, you know, bad food. I kicked it out the window, and I really focused on just simple things, right? So I ate rice, grilled chicken breast, some fruits, only drank water, and I did that for about 6 months. You know, Healthy Choice pizzas was probably something that I ate a good bit. I was working in retail at the time, so I was kind of always on the go, and I didn't really do any meal prepping or anything like that. Outside of the chicken and rice I'd eat at home, but like for lunch, when I went to work, I'd do like Healthy Choice pizzas, like their French bread pizzas, you know, and take that, throw it in the microwave real quick. And what I focused on was just calories, you know, so I just limited my calories, only drank water. And then the big other thing that I did was I ran and I ran. So I would run 2 to 3 miles, probably 5-6 days a week, if not 7 days a week some weeks. And I would run anywhere from like 10 p.m. to 2-3 in the morning. It really just depended on my schedule, when I was motivated. You know, funny thing about that too is, you know, I do still work out at night, but the reason I started running at night was because I was too nervous and too scared to let people see me run during the day. You know, when it's daytime, it's bright, everyone's out and about. So I waited till 10 p.m. or so to actually go outside and just run in the city 2 to 3 miles. And my thought process was, well, no one's gonna be out at that time. Everyone should be sleeping, so no one can really see this big old guy trying to huff and puff and barely, you know, make it, you know, half a block. But I ended up losing about 125 pounds in 6 months. So January 2005 to about June 2005 is when I lost all that weight. And it was, again, just diet, controlling calories, and then exercise. And by exercise, it was just running. So I just ran. I got pretty good at running. You know, I got 2 to 3 miles was pretty much a standard night, and I got down to the point where I was running like 7-minute mile. You know, every now and then I'd run for a mile, so I got pretty good. I got pretty lean. I'll actually throw some pictures up so you can kind of see what you know, what I was able to get down to. And so that was great, right? It lasted all of maybe 2 months. So summer of 2005 was pretty awesome. And then I met my girlfriend, and who is now my wife. And man, yeah, so basically that happened. So you know, skinny, feeling good about myself, lost all this weight, found a girlfriend, and what do? You know, you start going to dinner, you start taking them on dates to get ice cream, and lo and behold, you know, you don't really worry about working out as much because, oh man, I lost all this weight, I'm good, like I can have that ice cream, I can have that pizza, let's go, you know, have a date and go eat, and you know, all that good stuff that comes along with it. So I was kind of living and really enjoying this new life that I was living, and you know, not really paying attention. And you know, over time, you know, 5 pounds this month, 10 pounds that month, and it didn't take very long, and next thing you know, I'm back to square one. And you know, that's hard. You know, and it was really difficult to kind of understand and realize that, man, I actually, you know, did all that hard work for what? For nothing. You know, I let all that weight just come right back on, and you know, it was really frustrating, and I had no one to blame but myself. And the hardest part was knowing how much I worked to lose all the weight to begin with, all the running, all the eating, you know, not having a cheat meal for 6 months. I literally did not have a cheat meal, a cheat bite, cheat nothing for 6 months to lose those 125 pounds. And you know, it was a struggle. It was it was a mental game. It was like, you know, I know what I had to do, but I knew how hard I worked, and I just didn't think I could do it again. And you know, and so that basically, you know, that was version 2. You know, version 2 was me being skinny for a little bit of time, and then I reverted real quick back to version 1. So yeah, so that's you know, my first weight loss story, and it was successful. It was great for a couple months, and then it just kind of went back the other way. So that was again 2005. So probably, you know, probably mid 2006, about a year later, I was probably pushing 300 pounds again, and that's been the story all the way till 2018. So I just slowly started packing on weight and weight and weight. I got married in 2013, had my first child in 2014, my second child 2017, and I'll throw some pictures and show you guys, you know, what I look like, what my size was, how big I was. And you know what? I mean, when you're that heavy, I mean, you know, anxieties that you have to deal with, you know, the just attitude that you have, the kind of like, you know, like, why me almost, all the struggles that I have to go through. I mean, it's difficult. It's not easy. You know, and some people play it off really good. I'm not gonna lie. I've had some friends growing up who are bigger, and you know, they enjoy playing that role, and they're bigger than life, and it is what it is. That was never my case. I was always one who was just kind of, you know, not happy about being large and big and, you know, fat, for lack of a better word. I mean, that's what it was. And I was not, you know, someone who enjoyed it. I always try to hide it and look slimmer and wear different colored shirts and different form-fitting shirts and sit differently. And but you can't hide 405 pounds, you know, you just can't. So, but that leads up until February of 2018, so just 11 months ago or so, coming on a year pretty quick. That's when Angel 3.0 came along, and so I want to tell you the story about that specifically. So again, it's been, you know, 13 plus years or so where I was just packing on weight and gaining and gaining and gaining. You know, not happy with myself at all. You know, obviously a lot of different life events and life's kind of changed, and you know, I've grown up. I'm 32 years old now. Do have 2 kids and still married, and you know, a lot happened in 13 years, including me getting a lot more weight. So again, I was 325. I blew up to 405 pounds, and that's what I was in February of last year. And basically what happened was, I've got a pretty close group of friends going back to like middle school, if not earlier. We always talk, and a lot has to do with football. These guys go Noles. But one of my friends, he's always been, you know, pretty big into weightlifting, always been a pretty healthy guy. And actually his brother, you know, was a larger guy as well, and had bariatric surgery. I forgot exactly which one it was, but he had bariatric surgery a couple of years back, and really good results, you know, slimmed down significantly. And every now and then when I'd see him, you know, he'd always, you know, say, hey, you know, we should really talk about it. I want to talk to you about it. And I'd be like, yeah, you know, yeah, for sure, we'll link up. And never really happened too much, but never really sat down and had a thorough conversation about it. And then out of the blue one day, my friend just kind of hit me up on group text and just said, hey, you know, when are you going to go do that, you know, bariatric surgery? My brother's had really good success. And it just kind of caught me off guard a little bit. And it was just, it really was just a wake-up call a little bit. It's like, you know, I'm not really worried about it per se. You know, I say that, I guess it's not front of brain for me, but my friend brings it up. So why is someone thinking about my life and, you know, my weight more than I am? And so that kind of just gave me an opportunity to be truthful with myself and honest and evaluate. And, you know, my response was pretty simple. It's, I really don't want to have bariatric surgery. Not a fan of the risk. But that being said, you know, I really had to have that conversation with myself. And, you know, bariatric surgery has its own risk. I know plenty of people, you know, have done it, had success. I also have a personal friend of mine who did it, and within a couple of years he passed away. and some of it had to do with complications for that. So that certainly played a role into my decision, making process. But what I realized real quick was pretty simple. There are risks with bariatric surgery, and there are also risks at being 405 pounds. And at 32 years old, or at the time I was 31, once you hit your 30s, it feels kind of old. But I realized pretty quick that, I can't continue living this way. Like, I just can't. Whether I want to or not, chances are something really bad's going to happen if I continue living at 405 pounds. So as much as I didn't want to have bariatric surgery, at this point it might be the best option to really save my life. Really be around for my kids, for my wife. I mean, no one wants to miss out on that, right? So kind of what we came up with, or what I came up with, is I told them, listen, at the end of the day, I really don't want to have the bariatric surgery, but I understand how it could save my life, and I really feel like I am to the point in life where I got to make a decision. Either I got to do something, right? Either I got to lose weight myself, or I need to get this surgery real quick because I can't, keep going on. So we kind of came up with a bet, and it was basically I had 1 year to give it one last try to lose weight and to get healthy, and it was lose 100 pounds in a year. And if I lost 100 pounds in a year, then I was good to go. No bariatric surgery, no nothing. If I didn't lose 100 pounds in a year, I had to promise to go get consultation with a bariatric surgeon. And so basically that was probably, it might actually been the end of January when that conversation kind of happened. February 5th, there's no surprise that is the day after the Super Bowl. So I did wait until Monday, right after the Super Bowl. That way I can enjoy one last hurrah on Super Bowl Sunday, which really wasn't that great. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go all out. And I think I ordered like Little Caesars pizza. My wife made like buffalo dip, and I probably had a little bit of it, and then was really sad that I had to throw it all away because I wasn't gonna keep it in the fridge because that was just gonna tempt me the next day. But I went cold turkey February 5th, 2018, completely changed my diet. I focused on calories. I ate about 1,500 calories a day, realistically anywhere from like 1,300 to 1,700, but on average I try to stay right around 1,500 calories a day. And so what I focused on was lean meats. I think the first week I actually ate just what I had at the house. So I had like some beef stew, cut up steak that I kind of ate with rice, but I portioned everything out, I weighed it all out, and I made sure that, I started tracking my calories on MyFitnessPal, and I just made sure that everything added up and made sense and kind of fit, my calorie goals. And after about a week or so, I was kind of over the steak. It was really chewy. It wasn't the best thing to be eating during lunch at work. It was a workout in itself. But so I decided to make some tweaks, and I went to chicken, just grilled chicken breast, lean chicken breast. Obviously that's what I probably would have started with had I not just had all this extra steak laying around in the freezer at home that first week. But so I had the chicken, really chicken and rice for months. And then over time it kind of converted into, I dumped the rice. I got rid of rice. I really started focusing on macros. I was trying to eliminate my carbs as much as possible. I didn't go on keto or anything like that, and nothing wrong with people that can do that. It just wasn't for me. I really focused on a balanced diet. So I tried to do 40% protein, 30% carbs, 30% fats, and really just focused on calories. For me, that's what worked for me in 2005, and that's what has worked for me in 2018 and into 2019. But I've gone cold turkey, which is pretty hard to do. And I'm not counting or anything, but I have 16 days until I hit the 1 year mark of no cheat meals, no cheat days, no cheat bites. I have had a couple cheat smells. My coworkers can attest to that. Whenever they bring in something that's just pretty amazing, I will smell it just to get that sense of I don't know, taste, maybe. I don't know what it is, but it just kind of helps it get out of my system. So I have spent, again, the last 11 months and some change really focused on just changing my life, and it's happened. There's no doubt about it. 185.5 pounds as of this morning. Again, I started at 405 pounds, and as of today, this morning, I weighed in at 219.5, which was pretty awesome because I broke the 220 mark. So again, I got 16 more days to go, and it'll be 1 complete year of extremely healthy eating. And then the big difference though this time around, Angel 3.0 versus Angel 2.0 is not only did I do a bunch of cardio and running, I've really been focused on strength training in the gym since probably about June. So June, my wife and I got a membership to the local gym, and ever since then I've really kind of been hooked on weight training. So typically I'm in the gym normally I'd say 5 to 6 days a week. 2019 so far I've gone every single day. Sometimes I do morning at 5 a.m. and I do my night workout. So it just really depends, but I know I should get some rest days, and they're pretty important. But I've been extremely motivated, and just I want to change my life. I want to transform my body. It's not just about losing weight anymore, and I'm really not even focused on the number now that I feel pretty comfortable with myself. I'm really focused in 2019. I'm really focused on gaining muscle mass and lean muscle and all that kind of stuff. But realistically, guys, the reason I'm making this video and the reason I started this channel is because I have seen an amazing difference in myself. Not just physically. I mean, obviously physically is the first thing people notice, but mentally, my attitude, my whole outlook on life, the way I carry myself, my confidence levels, and it's not just how it impacts me personally, but also how it's impacting my family, how it's impacting my kids, how I can play with my kids and not run out of breath, how I can just be there for them. I'm focusing on being just a better person, and it's all interrelated. It really is. I can't express that enough. Like it just affects everything. And so the reason for this and video is I just want to share that. I want to share it with other people. I know there are people out there that struggle with weight. I know there's people that struggle with confidence, anxiety, all that, and a lot of it just stems from weight. Having all this extra weight, and I know how hard it is. Food is an addiction. I was addicted. I probably still am addicted. I'm just managing it, and losing all the weight's pretty difficult. But I almost think this next phase of my life is going to be even more difficult when I really focus on trying to manage my weight and moderation and trying to introduce some foods into my life again. That's going to be the hard part for me. I've proven twice that I'm pretty good at going cold turkey, and I'm pretty good at just sticking to a diet and eating the same things over and over again. But when you start introducing normal foods again into the diet, that part I didn't do good the first time. This time I'm not going to let the same mistakes happen again. I am going to do it right, and this is going to be something that continues for the rest of my life. So yeah, I know this is a really long video, and I certainly appreciate it if you made it all the way to the end. But obviously, being my first video, there's a lot of information, a lot of backstory that I just wanted to cover. I know I didn't go in real detail in a lot of different things, but I certainly plan on putting out some more videos and talking more specifically about the weight I've lost, my diet, thoughts, opinions, tips, and all that kind of stuff moving forward. But overall, the whole point of this channel is to certainly help others, try to find a way to help spark a change in others. Again, I mean, no one can do it for you. You got to find that motivation. You got to put a plan together. If I can just kind of help ignite that, just by sharing my story, then it makes all the time and effort I'm putting into these videos worth it. So again, certainly appreciate you guys. Feel free to like the video. Feel free to leave a comment. If you want to subscribe, that would be pretty awesome. But definitely more videos to come, and basically, go Noles.